I'm French American and I've lived in France a couple of times. And one thing I know the French like is bureaucracy. Lots and lots of rules. France is number 2 after the US in major arms exports, yet clamps down on its citizens. We're going to decode the convoluted 4-letter system that governs weapons and firearms and how it actually plays out in real life. So stick around to see how strict France is with guns and how defenseless the average citizen actually is. Chapter 1. French Firearm Framework. France organizes weapons by categories A, B, C, and D. If you don't know the letters, you don't know the law. There's a lot of nuance and subsets of each rule. It will get convoluted, and I won't hit on every tiny detail to not get lost in the weeds. Category A is essentially banned for civilians. Think select fire, some semi-autos, configured a certain way, war-type gear, machine guns. Now, Category B is possible to own, but heavily controlled. Those are handguns, many semi-auto rifles, some shotguns. You need prior authorization before you buy, and it's time limited and conditional. Fall out of compliance and it lapses. Category C is declare after purchase. Typical bolt action rifles, many hunting long guns, lower risk arms. You still need a legitimate title like a hunting permit or a sports shooting license. Some C items can require a recent medical certificate if you don't hold those titles. And Category D is the catch-all for free purchase by adult items like certain air guns, antique replicas, and small pepper sprays. So free purchase doesn't mean free to carry. And firearm capacity matters, but by the system. Pistols, which puts you in Category B. Now over 20 rounds moves you into Category A while that mag is in. So extended mags, anything over 20, Category A. Center rifles, over 10 rounds equals Category A while configured. Pull the mag and the gun goes back to B. The line is higher for rimfire semi-autos. Over 30 rounds puts it in A while configured. Again, normally they're B. Now, those high-capacity mags are treated as Category A on their own, so possession is restricted unless you fit a narrow sport shooter carve-out. You put them in your gun, Category A, pull them out of your gun, Category B, but the object itself is still A. Air guns is on the list too, and power is the line, up to a point. Adult purchase is D. Above a higher pressure threshold, it becomes C, with declaration and title rules. Now, suppressors, on the other hand, legally purchasable and common in hunting. They're regulated like guns, but are seen more as ear protection. Deactivated firearms go into Category C and must be listed in SIA, an online gun database. Now, alarm or signal guns, that's flare guns, are generally D if they conform. Non-compliant or convertible types can face tighter control. That's like a starter pistol converted into an actual pistol. Carrying almost anything that looks like a weapon in public demands a motif légitime, a legitimate reason the police and prosecutor will judge later. But once you have a firearm, are you actually allowed to carry it? Chapter 2. French carry versus transport and storage. In France, carrying a weapon in public is broadly prohibited. Not just guns, that includes knives, clubs, sprays, and many air guns. The civilian carry authorization, or porte d'armes, is an exception to the rule that serves as a proof of its strictness. It's reserved for exceptional case where individuals face extraordinary risks. The authorization comes with strict conditions. This rare permit is only granted to a select few who demonstrate an unparalleled need for it, making it a true exception that proves the rule of how difficult it is to obtain. Transport in France means unloaded, secured, with a destination that makes sense. That's a range, hunt, and it's done the French way. Locked case, ammo separated, direct trip. You don't get to stop at the boulangerie. Self-defense on the street is not a reason to carry in France. Tell an officer this pepper spray is for protection, and that likely counts against you, not for you. Storage rules are strict and tiered. A, B firearms and key parts have to be locked in a safe or strong cabinet or secured room with a reinforced door. And C, either a safe or disassembled, disabled in a way that prevents immediate use, or anchored anti-removal device. D, you just have a legal duty to prevent access by third parties. Ammo must be stored separately. If there's a theft or a controlled visit and your setup doesn't match the law, you can lose authorizations, even if the gun was never misused. Now you must be thinking, Does France have a national database to keep track of everyone? But of course! Chapter 3, the digital rack and le FINIADA. In the US, if a felony or court ruling makes you a prohibited person, the FBI flags you in a NICS, or NICS, blocking gun buys and stripping key civil rights. France runs its own blacklist, FINIADA, a bureaucratic mouthful that works the same way. Land on it and you can't buy or keep firearms. Gun shops must check FINIADA before every sale, and shooting clubs get automatic updates through the National Federation, which freezes or pulls your license if your name appears. France is rolling everyone into SIA, the Système d'Information sur les Armes. Hunters and sport shooters must create accounts and reconcile their râtelier numérique digital rack so the state knows what serial numbers you own and why. Sales by gun shops flow straight into the registry. You must confirm entries within set windows. If you don't, the system can auto-validate and a mismatch becomes your problem with the préfecture. Now you're asking yourself, how do I qualify? Two main paths. Hunters. Pass the hunter's exam, keep your permit valid, buy the long guns and ammo appropriate to C, and confirm them with CIA. Sport shooters. Join a recognized club, meet attendance rules, keep your licenses current, provide medical when required, apply for B authorizations in CIA. Authorizations for B aren't permanent. They're number capped, with caps that can increase after your first years, time limited, and revocable. Miss club attendance, paperwork, or get arrested, that can cost you your B slots. Now, a quick overview of ammo caps. As of January 1st, 2024, Category B goes up to 3,000 rounds purchased per authorized weapon per year. Storage cap is about 1,000 per caliber, separate from your gun. Category C varies by préfecture and use, and these are subject to change anytime. Okay, so now you have a gun and you're attacked. Are you able to defend yourself in France? Chapter 4. French self-defense in law. French law recognizes légitime défense. On paper, if you face an unjustified attack, you may use necessary, immediate, and proportionate force. There are narrow presumptions inside the home. In practice, because you can't carry, you probably won't have a firearm when trouble finds you. If you did use any weapon, every detail gets dissected after the fact. What was the threat? Could you flee? Was your response proportionate? And were you lawfully in possession of the item you used? So yes, the doctrine exists, but with civilian carry off the table, lawful defensive gun use by ordinary citizens is vanishingly rare. When it happens, it's usually a police officer using it to defend themselves or a terror attack. And some national polls from 2024 to 2025 showed a whopping 80% of French voters will tell you justice is too soft on actual criminals. Chapter 5. Who gets the gun in France? Since the terror years, France drew a hard line. The state wields force in public. In 2017, Article L435-1 unified when police can actually shoot. The rule flared back into debate in 2023 after police shot a suspect attempting to drive away, igniting riots. Now over it all sits Brussels. Post-Paris Brussels EU reforms raised the floor on semi-auto thresholds, deactivation marking, and cross-border tracing. France implemented the baseline, then added stricter national notes. But France has been plagued by extremism and jihadist terror like Charlie Hebdo, Nice 2016, and more. Critics say the country's immigration policies have been too lax, allowing large numbers of migrants and refugees into the country without proper vetting or integration programs in place. This has led to tensions between native French citizens and newly arrived immigrants who don't seem interested in becoming French. As a result, crime stats show rates have increased across the board year over year. I've personally been attacked twice in France, with one incident nearly getting my head crushed in. The unfortunate thing is, I have to report it in this video as foreign nationals and not by any discerning features, characteristics, or country of origin, since that would be considered egregious by online policy, and I could get demonetized, throttled, or worse. Imagine living in an increasingly dangerous place because of policies set by an inept, overpaid, and bloated government, and you have no means to defend you or your family, or publicly speak out about it. So how does the future look, mes amis? Well, not great. France's deal on firearms is clear and not budging. The state carries the gun in public. A, B, C, D sets the limits. Self-defense exists on paper, but with no lawful carry, citizens succumb to the growing violence. Two French shooters and hunters. much respect for navigating a hard system. Tell me, what do you think of your nation's gun laws? Do you feel safer with the laws? And to my Americans, if you're allowed to carry a gun, check out our concealed carry shorts and sweatpants linked below, or visit relaxfittactical.com to find the most comfortable CCW system, perfect for this winter holidays. Stay safe, be prepared, and don't be lame. Subscribe.